After 12 rounds so far this season, we enter a new chapter for the rest of the season. For Season 4 here of the Florida State Builders Area Pro Series, with just 5 races left in this season, we have eliminated the field of 40 contenders down to just 12. Only 12 drivers will have a chance at the Cup and a chance at glory in just a couple races time, but in the short term here, we got 5 races here and 2 races before we eliminate another 4 drivers. It's really going to kick up. We had some fantastic action so far this week here at Chicagoland Raceway. My name is Finny Kuna here with Hunter Sleppy and Connor Horn. Guys, glad to have you in the booth with me. Like I said, we saw some fantastic racing. I can't wait to see how these guys do here on this Thursday night.
It's going to be a blast for sure. Yet another kind of day-to-night race, but kind of starting primarily in the nighttime. Nighttime's the right time, as Larry Mack always said, so this should be a fun one. Like you said, it's been great racing all week long in the trucks and the Cup Series, so it should be really fun, and we got even more playoff action on hand, Hunter.
Yeah, and a little bit of drama here as well with James Scioli, the top dog for some in the, well, for all, really, in the Pro Series. He missed Chicagoland Tuesday night, and he looks like he's not here again tonight. But fortunately for him, he's got so many playoff points that he can literally afford to miss a race and still be good for next week. I don't know if he can pull up the point standings yet, but he's got a 60-point gap to the cutoff line. There it is right there. I mean, it's just the season that he was on, it's just an absolute tear compared to everyone else. The next highest up is Cameron Hearn at 15. Even that's not good enough. If you have an issue tonight and then an issue next week, you're going to be in a pickle. But really, it's second on down, in my opinion, where it gets tight with the cutoff, especially Sogok only out by 1 point. Lakatos, Weishart, and Ryan Hart, which, by the way, David Weishart won Tuesday night in the Truck Series, so he might be one to keep an eye on.
Definitely want to keep an eye on, especially as he's below that cutoff line, as well as Casey Lakatos, Anasogek, and Ryan Hart. It's definitely drivers we're going to keep an eye on, try to see if they can get themselves above that cutoff line. But as we mentioned, James Kelly not being here, not a problem for him. He's got a massive point lead. And so does David Weishart Racing in general. I mean, you can just tell by the amount of win stickers they have next to their name. If they get any more, I think the guy Jacob Bell's gonna have a hard time making this graphic next week, because, or is it Jacob Bell that makes these graphics, or it's
Alan Elwood?
Alan Elwood. Yes, it is Alan Elwood. So Alan Elwood's gonna have a tough time making these graphics. He's gonna probably have to put a number there because they've been doing fantastic so far this season. Sky Motorsports has been trailing them down. No one's to their name, but decent consistency to get themselves above Slaughter Sim. Then IRLC and Physicus Motorsports in 5th.
In the Miller Racing, the last team. Only 3 teams have won this season. I believe that was at Atlanta with Philip York. Other than that, kind of been a run-of-the-mill season for them. Hartman Coupe, then Bowie Esports, Darnell Racing, and Central United down in the order. I believe Casey Lakatos drives for them, and he's, I believe, in the playoffs. So
yes, he is.
He is having a good run, but the team itself hasn't been performing. But doesn't matter now. It's all about himself. He needs to get into the next round. He's one of those drivers who's going to kind of have to fight for it as we're getting into qualifying now.
Yeah, and as we get into qualifying, race fans, be sure to subscribe to the Area iRacing Twitch channel. For only $5 a month, you can watch all area broadcasts commercial-free. You can also use new Area iRacing emotes in the chat. You'll also be able to earn double channel points as a subscriber that you can use to redeem for free merchandise. So, guys, here as qualifying has started here, we'll get down to the track. Justin Anasogek, one of the drivers you mentioned on the outside looking in. Definitely needs to perform here, and remember, we only have 1 qualifying lap for these guys, so they can't afford to make a mistake, otherwise it might be a long drive from the back to the front. I mean, Connor, we saw on Monday, your teammate, didn't phase him none. Jeremy Miller drove from the back near the front in about 20 laps time, but I think these guys are going to have a much harder time this week, or in this particular race.
I think it's going to be much harder to pass tonight. As we've seen all week long, track position becomes key. It's key at the beginning, and it's also key, it gets even more key at the end of the race as the top line kind of goes away, as Anasogek goes second to Garrett Grant. And you're talking about Anasogek. He is one of those drivers below the cut line, which is kind of surprising because he's one of the few drivers this season who's got a win in the Pro Series. He won at Daytona, but similar to his truck season, he just has not been able to gain much momentum as Hearn comes out of turn number 4 to start his lap. That 88 just hasn't had a lot of momentum, not had a lot of things go his way this season, so he's really have to try to find some speed tonight.
Find that speed. Oh, sorry.
I clicked on the wrong thing, but Hearn is in the wall. That's not going to be good for him in his lap time. Was going to point out, there we go. So we haven't been here to Chicagoland for the Pro Series at all, so I went back and looked at all the playoff opening races and not a single one of them had a caution. Quite literally. Went to Atlanta, Homestead, no yellows in either, and then last season we opened at the Indy Road Course, which there's no yellows for that, but still, it's absurd to me that there has yet to been a caution in the first playoff race for the Pro Series. It might as well change tonight, but who knows, as there's Jordan Martin slinging it sideways after he puts up a third quickest time.
Yeah, and also want to point out, too, that as we saw with, where did he end up going? Oh, Cameron Hearn, him hitting the wall, that did not count his time, Connor.
Yeah, I was about to kind of say the same thing, but I was also about to say, a little bit surprising, really, no one's gone out yet. Saw a little bit of this Tuesday night, but this is more than I thought. Only 4 drivers putting a time down. I believe only 5 even tried to put a time down, with Hearn not making it, as Durham goes 4th out of 4 right now, as Andrew Santos starting to roll off. Mason Kane, Jacob Hudson. A few drivers starting to get back out there, but really a slow trickle up there.
And Mason Kane looking for a bounce-back performance after the 17th place run in the Truck Series. And he actually said, if I get on the wall once, I'm just going to order chicken wings and call it a night. It's just,
I think
he's
just the wall, actually. He pulled it back to the pits.
Order those wings.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out where he's going to order them from.
Yeah, that too, but he didn't start his lap.
Tom Bourne on a lap and into the wall, and to the back of the field he will go.
Backup car.
That spot is actually going to be a trouble spot tonight for some of the guys. Kind of like what we saw Monday night. That Brandt signage there in the middle of turn 2 and down the backstretch. It almost is distracting because you kind of don't see the wall until you get right next to it at the wrong place, and there's nowhere for you to go other than in the wall. So that's going to be a challenge for some of the guys tonight, and turn 4 as well. Saw a couple close calls Monday night as well, as Santo comes to complete his lap.
And across the line for the number 10 machine, it's been, as Connor mentioned, a very slow trickle of cars off of pit lane. Not the usual rush we see of quite a few guys jumping out there. It's very slow. Only 6 drivers now have put a time down. Shane Carrion out there in the 38. No, Mason Kane, he's out there just ahead of him, trying to redeem his lap. He crashed just coming to the green flag, but luckily he was able to reset. Did it help him anything? 31 across the line. Was it a good time?
P3.
P3 for the 31.
Ryan Hartz has rolled off. Therian is on his lap, though, as the 38 slides on the bottom lane. It's one thing I was about to note. We've seen a lot of drivers who have gone out already. They've been running the top in 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. Therian's going to run the bottom in 1 and 2, and then back down to it in 3 and 4. As we've seen, what before the lights come on and the sun goes completely down, that top line is an option, but it kind of went away as the night went on Monday and Tuesday night, as Therian goes 4th quickest.
I also saw a good bit of drivers elect not to qualify Monday night. I think there were only 24 or 25 times down, and then the rest just decided not to go out. And, well, this guy decided to go out this week, Matthew Bell. For that guy who put all his channel points on the win pole last week, he's shaking his fist.
Oh, no.
He was a week too early. Week too early.
I was about to say, he might get pole with that time. He's a 10th ahead of Garrett Grant, but like you said, there's a lot of drivers to go out yet. Ryan Hartz, he's on track. I believe he's ending his lap. He had a really strong 3 and 4 there. Is he going to put Bell off the provisional pole? No, but just barely behind him in 2nd.
Colin Farmer getting out on the track. Alex Weaver coming out of turn 4 to start his lap. He's a driver on that bubble. As another driver needs to really make sure he steps up and performs. So this qualifying lap is going to be important for him. And there he is right there, Connor, as you mentioned, running that high lane, that back end stepping out, though, has to hang on to it. And he does. Gets close to the wall, though.
Yeah, everyone's pushing that. I think we're going to see a lot of drivers in the wall early on trying to run that line, as Weaver to the bottom, maybe a little early. The bumps on the bottom at 3 and 4 really offsetting, but if you hit them just right, you can get a good run on people through 3 and 4 as Weaver comes through, across the line, 31.036. It's good enough for 8th position. Now we're getting drivers on track. Greg Mitchell, Colin Fambro, Shane Abbey, Silver, Munsell, also Spencer Brown in a beautiful Barbie Supra, which actually looks pretty good. Is looking at Colin Fambro right now. He's at turn 4. There's that Barbie Toyota I was talking about, as I believe that he just started this time.
Well, it's going to be hard to miss that car on the track.
Yeah. There's no Oppenheimer one. I wish they were offsetting.
That would have been awesome.
Or if it was like a combined scheme. Oh, he's going to run the top in 3 and 4. I wasn't expecting that. See how this works.
And 95 coming out of turn 4 across the line with an interesting line in 3 and 4. Did it pay off? Not quite. 31.9. Going to be down on the order from the 95. Fortunately, Barbie's going to be near the back of the order. That being said, he did get a clean lap in, so he will be ahead of quite a few guys that struggled so far. David Weishart out there in the 33 machine, winner on Tuesday night. We'll see if he can perform as well tonight and get back-to-back wins across 2 series as he comes across the line to start the lap.
It really didn't have long-run speed on Monday. Kind of righted that ship Tuesday night and had the best long-run speed of anyone. Just pulled away at the end as the sun went completely down. We'll see if he does the same again. Close to that Brandt backstretch wall. That's going to be fun to say. But he's going to go to the bottom here. 187 into turn number 3. We'll have to note those times as the night goes on, as he's really solid through 3 and 4.
And then coming across the stripes, good enough for pole. The 33 of Weishart. Oh, boy.
Got close.
Man,
Third.
Close.
Someone's regretting spending their points last week.
There's more and more salt in the wound. There's more drivers come across the line. Brad Slaughter actually just usurped David Weishart in third. As he goes just a little bit faster, 0.03 of a second faster than Weishart. Austin Gakshon is going to come across the line 18th quickest. Only a couple drivers left, so it's looking more and more likely that, unfortunately to one subscriber, that Matthew Bell's going to be on pole.
We'll see here. John Furness is really fast into turn 3, but he's also going to go to the top line in turn 3. I'm really shocked about that, but he carried good speed into 3. See if he can carry it off across the line. He's going to be good enough. 31.051. I really think that top line's not the move there. He's back at 16th.
I don't think anyone else is going to go out.
I was going to say, I don't think so either. So, man, someone's going to be shaking their fist angrily at the gods because, unfortunately for one person, Matthew Bell is going to be starting on pole here at Chicagoland.
I really hope they're in chat, but I don't think they are. There's only 3 drivers elected not to put a time down. That's Ed Robertson, Michael Muhammad, Tom Bourne. But Bourne actually did try to put time down.
I was going to say all of them actually did attempt to put a lap down, but unfortunately weren't able to.
Oh, you're right. I did not see that from Robertson. But I don't think I ever saw Muhammad get on track, so I think he's the only one electing. No, he did, so never mind. Don't talk to me.
Taking a look here at your starting lineup here, we'll take this away here as we switch over into warm-up. A solid job done by the guys near the front, especially Matthew Bell. Curious to see what he's got in store with that 43. And also Ryan Hartz, too. We talked about him. He's just a little bit below that cutoff line. Nothing really too concerning, but obviously as a driver, you don't want to be in that cutoff zone. You want to be as safe as possible heading to next week.
100%. And those guys who aren't going to start at the front are going to be in a sort of awkward spot. Cameron Hearn, he's starting at the very back because he didn't get his time down. And he comes into this week, I believe, 15 of a good. So the safest besides Scioli, but that doesn't mean anything. 15 points means nothing with 30 drivers here trying to take your spot away. So he's going to have to climb through the field.
He's actually going to be my pick tonight. There's nowhere to go but up from here for Cameron Hearn in the race tonight, and I feel like he'll complete the last to first challenge, so Hearn is my pick to win.
It's definitely a solid choice to win. For me, I think I'm going to go with Ryan Hartz in the number 3. Solid position for him. Again, he's a driver that really needs to have a solid week just to have some peace of mind. I mean, he's starting up near the front. We know he's a decently quick driver. I think he's going to have what it takes to win here.
I think Beckner's going to be the one to do it tonight. I think he was the fastest Tuesday night, and JT Poole got into him and kind of killed that truck. So I think if he has everything go right, I think that 27's going to be the one to victory lane.
All right, and with that warm-up here coming to an end soon. Before that, let's talk about our starting grid sponsor, Roasted Gems Coffee. Race fans, start your engines with a fresh cup of Roasted Gems Coffee. Choose from some of the finest coffee beans from Colombia and Peru, or try the blended flavors of French vanilla and hazelnut. Use discount code area iRacing for 10% off your order at checkout at roastedgems.com. Well, We have the field getting ready to grid up, so let's go through your starting lineup here. Starting on pole, as mentioned, Matthew Bell with a very solid effort is going to be starting on pole. Reinhardt's next to him in second in the number 3.
Then row number 2, a few more playoff drivers there, or at least one more playoff driver. Brad Slaughter starting in the 3rd position. David Weishart coming in tonight below the cut line, starting 4th.
Moving on back to 5th, to me, Travis Beckner. Connor, your pick to win, starting in the 27. Next to him, Garrett Grant in the 5, lining up in 6th.
Another row with a playoff driver. Shane Abbey's not that driver, but he will start 7th. He's had a few good qualifying efforts this season. Then Just Anasogak, the Daytona winner, comes in 1 below the cut line, starting 8th.
Moving on back to 9th, Chris Rabel in the 29 machine on the inside and running out your top 10. Bryce Senizak in the 09.
Mason Kane starting in 11th after a rough Tuesday night. Tom Bourne has dropped due to packet loss. We'll have to note that. And Case Lakatos is starting 12th. Also, I believe, just below that cut line by 2.
Moving on back to 13th, we find Colin Fambro in the 18 car. Next to him, Alex Weaver in the 62, lined up in 14th.
Greg Mitchell in the Final 4 in this series last season, not in the playoffs this season, which is a bit of a shock. He starts 15th alongside one of our championship favorites, I would say, John Furness.
He's got a bit to climb through the field low to get near the front. Shane Terrian in 17th in the 38 machine is going to be lined up on the inside row. Next to him in 18th is going to be Jordan Martin in the 17 car.
A couple of Camaros on row number 10. 19th will be Jeffrey Wilson, and then the 8 of Austin Gack Jones starting just inside the top 20.
Moving on back to 24th, it's going to be Justin Munsell in the number 6 machine. Steve Durham in the 1 car is going to be lined up in 22nd.
Andrew Santo in the ever recognizable double bubble, Hubba Bubba type bubblegum paint scheme, starting 23rd tonight alongside Jacob Hudson in 24th.
Moving on back to 25th, it's going to be Spencer Brown in the 95. Next to Nick Silver in the 46, lined up in 26th.
Then the final 2 rows here, Cameron Hearn, the lowest starting playoff driver after the mishap of qualifying, starting 27th. Then Ed Robertson, who was fast in practice, in 28th.
Moving on back to 29th, it's going to be Tom Bourne in 16th, and rounding out your field of 30, Michael Muhammad in the 78. One interesting thing to note about Michael Muhammad, though, we noticed in practice, he was 4th quickest on the timesheets, which was very interesting to see. So, I mean, maybe that car might have some pace. We don't really know because he didn't get a chance to put a qualifying lap down. So maybe we might have to keep an eye on the 78, see if he's got some speed. That would be a very big upset.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. He had a half-spin in qualifying that puts him back here. And the issue with him is that when he is in the back, he hasn't really been able to get through the field. So we're going to have to see if he can, if he has the speed to do that, have to see if he methodically can work his way up as the back quarter of the field finally gets going here as we get our 1 pace lap. Good night for racing, ain't it?
Oh, it is a very nice night for racing. The sun's starting to set here. We'll be finishing in night. 130 laps on the clock for tonight's field rolls onto the back straightaway. A lot of playoff drivers near the front of the grid. A couple near the back. Cameron Henry mentioned that 67 Hunter. You picked him. He's got a lot of work to do.
I think Hunter had to go to the bathroom.
So I see. Okay.
Well, I'll let you know. Well, he'll let us know when he's back. But yeah, Hearn, it's really not a good situation. With how hard I think it's going to be to pass, it's going to be rough. He's got to be very, very careful. He was top 3 speed last night and top 10 on Monday night. So he's fast, but he has to be very, very careful with this fragile Xfinity car.
Yeah, we'll see here. Oh, speaking of fragile, Bell and Weishart almost almost dooring each other out of turn 4 as they come slowly to the green. Here we go. Green flag in the air. We're green here for the playoffs in the Area Pro Series. Lap 1 complete as a hard-fought battle between Ryan Hartz and Matthew Bell ends with the 3 in the lead over the 43. He'll be relegated to second, and then a swarm of cars fighting for third place. Garrett Grant, Brad Slaughter, Travis Beckner, Shane Abbey all in a tight-knit group.
Yeah, and Weissart kind of let them go. It seemed like he washed up the track, but I know he was, well, he told us he was trying to save tires hard on the first run on Tuesday night, and then he could barely claw back, but it seems like he's going to try the same thing maybe tonight, Hunter.
Indeed, as he's trying to get away from Travis Beckner, but it is just 3 wide pandemonium in the back. There's an in view of David Weishart, the winner from Tuesday night in the trucks. He's currently 7th, getting close in by Justin Anasogok and Chris Rabel. You don't see Anasogok, but he is to the outside of him. There he is, making a move.
Yeah, trying to see if he can make a move work. We saw for the Cup Series outside was definitely the place to be, but I think with the Xfinity car, obviously, would not as reliant on that run off the corner. The inside lane can really bounce back here. We're going to see a lot of side-by-side action and sustained side-by-side action because these guys, neither one is giving an inch, and they're both working pretty well on either part of the racetrack.
Also going to see a lot of drivers utilizing that apron. Can't state enough how wide that apron is. It invites everyone to try to go down there and dive to the inside and get positioning on a driver before the corner. We're going to see a lot of that. We've seen it all week, but we'll see it a lot tonight especially.
That's Shane Abbey.
Oh, big crash. Cameron Hearn, I think, is involved in it. Caution's out. Yeah, Hearn is destroyed.
Oh, yeah, Andrew Santo as well. An early caution here, slowing down the pace. And the 67, we talked about him potentially having a long night. If it was already a long night, it's going to be even longer. Let's take a look at your SimRam market replay. I think we saw a little bit of what happened there. So 67's behind the 10. Did something happen to Santo here? Michael Muhammad comes in, gives him a bump, some neck cone involved, but a hard hit to the outside wall for the 67 and the 8 of Austin Gak-Jones.
Yeah, Gak-Jones took a big lick as well. That was Muhammad was charging the middle of the corner, and Santo was trying to come down. As a little net code there, but I think that was happening either way. Muhammad really was going so fast through the center, and Santo was trying to shut the door, and that was inevitable.
Talking about wrong place at the wrong time for Cameron Hearn. Here's what he saw from his onboard.
Yeah, heading down the back straightaway, was already starting to make up some moves through the field. And there's Michael Muhammad coming in, hits the 10, and then bam, hard hit for the 67. That's going to be a very lengthy repair.
Yeah, that's going to be competitively race over on lap number 4, so that is huge. He had the second biggest buffer with 15, but most likely he's going to lose all of that. It is a big break for Tom Bourne, who missed the start. So, obviously, a lot of drivers not happy. Cameron Hearn definitely not happy with Michael Muhammad on the radio, so a little early for those types of dives, but could argue that one guy was coming down, so I guess that happens, I guess.
Well, that's one of the downsides of not getting a time down in qualifying. Only 4 drivers didn't get a time, and Hearn was one of them.
Yep.
And there you see his 15-point cushion just went out the window. We're not even in double-digit figures with the lap time today.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's just going to be looking at this graphic, basically, and just hoping that everyone below him just has some sort of issue, potentially taking themselves out of the race. Obviously, Cameron Hearn's going to try to get that car back in the race as soon as possible, but there's only so much he can do. And there's also the chance that later on his engine might blow, because that was a very hard hit to the front right. So even if he does continue on, there's a chance that car might just give up later on in the run. So he's just got to hope that at this point, a lot of his competitors meet more unfortunate fate, and their damage is permanent. But go back 1 to green here. Ryan Hart's taking the lead ahead of the 43, and you can see him electing the outside lane. I'm not too surprised there. If it worked good once, might as well pick it again.
That was a costly wreck for Hartman Coupe Motorsports. 3 of their 4 drivers were taken out in that. Santo, Hudson, I believe Gak-Jones. So
some damage, yeah.
Huge for that team, but obviously the implications for Hearn are huge. He will be there a while, but he is still in the car. Clearly has required damage. He's having to give some laps to the field to repair it. So if he does get back out, he'll really just kind of be playing and hoping, like I believe you said, Hunter, just hoping, or actually Finian said that just a lot of drivers under him have issues.
Yeah, and even though he's blinking, this is a big break for Shane Abbey, because I've seen the first handful of laps. That outside lane has been rolling. Saw Sogok make the pass on Weishart, and he's going to restart in front of him. 3rd car on the outside line. So I really like how this 84 is looking in the early run.
There's pace car making the left turn off to pit lane Fielding control now of Ryan Hartz. Can Matthew Bell try to fight back and actually lead a lap? So far, he's not led after starting on pole. Back green here. A great start for Ryan Hartz. Now Matthew Bell having to do battle with Shane Abbey in the 84 Carvana machine. Can he work it around the outside? Garrett Grant trying to see if he can try to join him up on that outside.
Almost had a stack up on the start. I believe Therian was the one who took evasive action. Another one of our playoff drivers near the back having to kind of struggle up to the front as everyone tries to get their place in line 2 by 2, sometimes 3 wide. Spencer Brown way close to the high side trying to make that work as everything kind of sorts themselves out at the top 3.
Yeah, they really fanned out on that initial start, and they're starting to do some of it towards the back, but most of it is double file. See a couple of cars on that outside line, like the 31 of Mason Kane. Got really close to that wall as we focus on Rabel, trying to get around Slaughter for 8th.
Yeah, he's got a great run off of turn 2 now, trying to get a better run into turn 3. So the outside lane is starting to look very solid. That 10 lane not looking as good as it did just a couple laps ago. There's some 3 wide action in the background. Justin Munsell, Colin Fanro, Nick Silver, 3 wide for position.
And these guys are scattering all over the place on the front straightaway. With these drivers, you could argue there's probably like 10 lanes for them with that apron. I think, oh wow, Munsell almost into the back of Fambro there as we get his onboard, get his view. Great finish last night, runner-up, but a lot more work to do to get back up there tonight.
Yeah, he's still looking for his first Pro Series win as he's in the thick of it right now with Fambro on the outside. You can see how close he's getting to that quarter panel.
Oh,
like I said, he's just it's a hornet's nest right in front of him.
I love the fact that he's just chewing gum. It just looks like it's just another day in the office. He's ready to go. He's unfazed by it at the moment, though. He's losing a little bit of ground stuck on that inside lane. Everyone's really trying to go for that outside lane. David Weiser, actually. Not David Weiser. Brett Slaughter. Dropping back quite a few positions so far.
Well, they both are. This is something we saw from both of them Tuesday night, how they wanted to hard save the tires and charge back to the front as the run went longer. The problem was track position meant so much and passing was so difficult that they kind of struggled to get back to the front without the lone caution we had Tuesday night. So clearly they feel like they can do it tonight and not have that issue, but they dropped much further back than they did on Tuesday.
I feel like they can make it work in the Pro Series and the Xfinity car.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be much better in this car than the trucks, but we'll have to see if we get a long enough run as they continue to battle on the front stretch. That is Fambro and Slaughter for 14th.
Yeah, this fight's continuing on. It's meanwhile up front. Matthew Bell is able to take the lead back from Ryan Hartz. Hartz put back to 2nd place. Shane Abbey in 3rd with Travis Beckner trailing in 4th. A little bit more single file action. Then you head back to Alex Weaver. We talked about him, a driver that needs to make sure he does well. Whoa, as Rabel, I think, or Rabel or Garrett Grant really sideways and slow off of turn 3.
Extremely close there. Looking 3, maybe 4 wide. We are 4 wide with Rabel on the bottom. Somehow made that work without contact as Garrett Grant starts to slip backwards. That was incredibly close. It's still incredibly close.
Yeah, he had contact from Manasogok in the middle of 3, and that's what led him to losing quite a few positions. Now, like you mentioned, 3 wide, and Slaughter's just going to get by him on the outside, but Grant's fallen outside the top 10, trying to recover in some degree, as now he's being looked 3 wide by the 18 of Fambro.
Yeah, Fambro's trying to make some moves to cut his way forward. He's lost 2 spots so far. There is the 17 of Jordan Martin going to be pushing to the wall. Squeeze contact with the 5 and the 17. Does he save it? Oh boy, he does. But wow, that was a heart attack for half the field right there.
Oh my goodness, I don't know how they saved that. Colin Fambro came up like he wasn't even 3 wide there, and he's been the one looking 3 wide. So that was surprising to see him do that, as we'll get a great look on the Sim Market replay from Greg Mitchell's view. Yeah, just kind of came up. Oh, and that's big damage for the 2 as well. Somehow he got the worst of that with front end damage, but Garrett Grant could only give the 18 so much room there.
Not a good handful of laps for the 5 of Grant in the last handful, so seeing if he can just log back in, get some laps rolling, keep the composure as we ride on board with Casey Lakatos, 13th on the track, and entered the night 10th in the point standings, just a couple of points outside the cutoff, but with what happened to Cameron and Hearn already, still early in the going, but if he just finishes the way that he's been finishing all year, again, he got in based on consistency. If he could just keep the same in the postseason, he'll be fine to make it to the next round if all goes well.
Right side just got a piece of the wall off of turn 2, right ahead of Casey Lacatus.
You know how fragile these Xfinity cars are. Can't afford any damage. I think he got away with that. I think he'll be good as Travis Beckner's starting to move up here. He got third from Shane Abbey, and now he got all in the rear bumper of Hart's out of turn 2 and takes that position with ease.
Right under a blanket, you could fit second, third, and fourth all nose to tail, and now here comes the 88 of Anna Sogok in the background. You can see after that contact he had with Grant, he's been on a tear, charging inside the top 5.
Yeah, doing a solid job to get himself back to the front. Starting in 8th is now up 3 positions, so a slow climb forward. And now has a chance to see if he can get closer to the lead. He's got them right within his sights. He's got a decent gap to work with from behind. There's John Furnace, who's actually made some really good progress. We saw him in qualifying. He tried the outside line in 3 and 4. Didn't quite work as well as he would have liked, but has been able to make up solid.
Oh, crash! Jordan Martin spun. Got hit from Spencer Brown. Or Jeffrey Wilson, excuse me.
And the caution will fly for the second time tonight. So it looks like Jordan Martin's left the track. Let's see, with your sim route marker replay, what happened to the 17.
So he had I believe out of turn number 2. He immediately alt forward after the crash, so that'll be his night done. So 3 wide.
Yeah, Wilson to the outside, Mitchell to the inside, got in the 98, and whoa.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't tell. It looked like Wilson had room off the wall, but 3 wide's so tough at this track. Yes, there's 3 or 4 lanes, but how out of control you are at Chicagoland doesn't really seem like that. Yeah, he's got some room to the outside, but that contact might have happened anyways.
Yeah, not the night that Jordan Martin wanted. Called it quits after that. Austin Gak-Jones also out of the race, and here come the leaders coming down pit road.
The pit road is going to be a busy place here as we're decent amount of laps in the run. Steve Durham looks like actually he's going to stay out. Everyone else coming down to pit lane. Cameron Hearn, you can see off to the right side, still sitting in the pits. Is that the white flag waved? I should say the white flag of surrender waved for Cameron Hearn.
I mean, he's still in the car. I don't know how much damage he could have gotten with how hard of a hit he had, so we'll probably see in about 10-20 minutes if he wants to get back out there as Case Lacatus goes through pit road. I think he wants to lead a lap, but
yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately, it's going to be unfortunate for him when he finds out that Durham stayed out. Across the line, ooh, Beckner got awfully close
not
to
quite.
beating the 43. Didn't quite get there. It's hard to beat that first pit stall.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to beat the first pit stall under yellow. As Bell keeps the lead. Beckner, Hartz, Abbey, and Furnace to top 5. Furnace, I believe, got that spot on pit road for Anna Sogok. As everyone files out, that's their first set of tires, and they'll have 3 more to use throughout the next 110 laps.
I'm looking through here. If Hearn gets back out, he can at least get past Gak-Jones and Jordan Martin. That'd be 2 spots, and each spot is a point, so that would matter to the postseason. Santo, he could get around. That'd be another spot, but yeah, it's a tough hole to climb out of for Cameron Hearn. It's going to probably put him in a must-win scenario for the next race when that happens to be at Auto Club. So that should be a fun one next week, but Hearn's still looking to get back on track and put it on top as Casey Lacatus leads under the yellow.
So he does get the lap led as well, so he'll pit next time.
Also,
oh yeah, the light's still on. Yeah, so he'll come this time. Okay. Thought I saw the lights go off.
Oh, that would have been bad. Santo, oh, he's lapped down. He's just letting the field by. As get 2 to green for sure here, considering he's having to let lead lap cars by. But like you talked about, Hearn has positions to get Gak-Jones out. Santo's on track, but 12 down. Who knows how long he'll be able to stay out there as Jeffrey Wilson gets to EOL for that second caution. Jordan Martin also out of the race, so not over. He can gain some, but it's not going to be much.
And you know what? That's actually a bonus point for Lacatus leading that lap. So
yes,
he's probably gonna come back down. He drove straight through pit road, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He did.
Yeah. So he'll come back down pit, play it smart. Well, Well, the action's been happening towards the back. That's where the carnage has been, so I don't know how that's going to look on this next restart. But does get a bonus point. Going to come in, put on some 4 freshies, and the lead will cycle to Matthew Bell.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, for him, it's really every point counts. So for Lakatos, it's smart to pick it up, especially being so close to that cutoff, where every point seems like it's going to count. Also, guys, got to talk about Shane Abbey. He's having a really good race so far. He's been staying up inside that top 5 comfortably. No one's really kind of got at him. He's kind of been running his own pace up there, but no one's been able to get around him and push him back. So 84 car might be someone we want to keep an eye on.
Just look at note quickly. Slaughter and Weishart came down to top off. They're thinking fuel strategy. We'll see how that works out. As Matthew Bell assumes the lead. I think because Lakatos pit coming 1 to green, it's Beckner saying he's supposed to line up on the bottom and vice versa for Bell. So they'll have to clear penalties, but they'll be fine. So yeah, we got 25 drivers still on the lead lap. 25 drivers who could still win, but I am concerned about Lakatos at the back because of the carnage we've seen at the back. He's got to be exceptionally careful.
Well, hoping we get a long run in so we can see who the comers and goers are. We've got, what is that, 2 cautions now?
Yep.
Within the first 20-ish laps of the race, so hoping to at least put 20 laps down, maybe 25, as Bell and Beckner on the front row going to bring him back green.
Let's see how this is going to play out here. Beckner with a really solid pit stop up to 2nd place. Can he execute now on this restart and keep the 43 within his sights? Green flag back in the air here at Chicagoland. A solid jump for the 43. Beckner actually not that good of a start at all. Shane Abbey looks like he might take 2nd place. Not before Justin Sogak tries to look up the inside in turn 1.
And the Sogak trying to get the 3rd. Ooh, Abbey with a wiggle there. Gets clear in front of Beckner. Will keep that position as Beckner crosses right back over to get to the bottom to try to take the position back as top 3 or 4 battling it out here as Bell clears for the lead.
Ooh, Abbey gonna get that strong run on the outside and gonna at least put another chance again around the 27 of Beckner. And right behind them, Hart's gonna close in as he's gotten clear of Anna Sogak. Through 1 and 2 they go. Here comes 84 diving it in right.
Oh, Mason Kane's around in front of the field.
Oh, a big crash. Justin Munsell involved. Rabel and Tom Bourne caution out immediately with the 6 of Justin Munsell, the big loser out of all this.
Well, it's wings time.
Yeah, I was about to say. We'll see what Brandy gets. Not a lot of damage, but he is stopping and staying true to his word.
Oh, is he going up there to... row. I always get concerned when I see a driver do this. I think he's going after someone. Oh, he is very angry.
You don't see him get that upset either.
Let's see what happens here. I was going to take a chance to look at a sim marker replay, but the replay can wait.
Let's see. Best case scenario is just getting his position back.
Very animated, you can tell.
Yeah, he is not like that at all.
All right, looks like he is not going to pursue any revenge, so we'll cut back to the replay and see what on earth happened to get him in this situation in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, you said it started with a 31 Mason Kane.
Oh, yeah, he just loses it on his own in front of the field. Nowhere for Munsell, Rabel, Garrett Grant, or Tom Bourne to go.
Yeah, as soon as he loses it, it just slides up, and boy, that is tough for the 6, so... Skyholy not here. Hearn caught up in a crash. Munsell caught up in a crash. It's rough for these playoff drivers.
As I was Weaver's point of view in all that, actually trying to see if I can get Tom Bourne. Not Tom Bourne, sorry, just a Munsell. This is right in behind the 62.
Just nowhere. Track completely blocked at that point.
So Munsell will have to be sitting in pit road. Joining, you could probably have a party. You could probably get share some wings with Cameron Hearn.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
Have a little party down in pit lane.
I think Hearn's drinking milk and having cookies with it.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think that's what he's doing.
Don't think he's a milk and cookies guy?
No, I don't think so.
I want to take
I'd
this
be
time.
surprised if anyone comes down pit road again.
I think
I'd be
saw some guys
shocked.
maybe trying to fake it. I think Brad Slaughter, is he thinking? Nope. Just riding on the apron, trying to save some fuel, I guess.
He and Weishart did top off on fuel, so that's something to know in case we do get green. Neither of them got damage from that, I believe, so we'll see.
is benefiting a lot from that caution, was able to avoid it.
Speaking of Cameron Hearn, if he was having milk and cookies, those are done. He is finally back out on track, and now he might have even more positions to gain.
And you can see right there, 1,062 seconds on pit lane. That's 17 minutes and 42 seconds. So he's been down there for a while. He's going to have to come back down? Oh, boy.
Probably just repairing more.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's still looking. I guess that was only the required? Oh, boy.
Just saving an extra lap. Not that it matters being 21
boy.
down, but he will jump. He will jump Gak Joan with this.
I mean, he'll pass quite a few cars with this because quite a few guys retired from the looks of it. It looks like Jordan Martin, Mason King have called it a day. Same thing with... Oh, actually, no, Andrew Santo is actually out on track. I want to take this time also, because we've seen quite a few of them. Simrat Market, our replay sponsor. Race fans, be sure to visit simratmarket.com for custom iRacing paint scheme templates that are simple to use and help you stay more focused on the racetrack. At simratmarket.com. We'll see any more Simrat Market replays throughout the night. It's been action-packed here, and we're not even 100 to go.
No, not even really close. Oh, I guess we are close to 100 to go. Never mind. But almost 100 to go. As you were saying, the playoff drivers had a hard time, especially the ones who had a gap. Scioli just not making it, probably on vacation because at least he can afford it. But Cameron Hearn, Justin Munsell, they can't afford that.
I was really hoping. I really, there's times like this I wish I had Kyle's Telestrator. I was going to draw like an X through Cameron Hearn and then an X through Justin Munsell, because actually no, you can start with James Scioli, then Cameron Hearn, Munsell. So Travis Beckner is next on the hit list.
He hasn't used his Telestrator in a while. He's got to get back on that.
Yeah, actually he hasn't. Now that I think about it, should remind him.
He needs homework for Kyle if you're watching. Use it at least 10 times next week for our Tuesday night show. That's his homework. If he doesn't see this, you can tell him.
I don't even know where he is this week. I actually completely forgot where he
Road America?
Was it Road America?
It seems like everything's there. I feel like that.
I forget. I know last week he was at Lime Rock Park. This week, no clue.
Pretty positive he's at Road America because he's calling it their NASCAR week, and obviously Xfinity's there. So.
Yes. You're definitely right with that.
Anyways, we're not at Road America. We're at Chicagoland.
Yep, we're at Chicagoland. We're about to go back green. Matthew Bell leading down. Shane Abbey in second place. Really great restart last time. We'll see can he capitalize on the new position. Green flag back in the air for the 43. Ryan Hart's now taking advantage. That third place driver really seems to benefit whoever's the leader. Or really third or fourth, depending on where the leader goes. So Hart's going to benefit. In this case, Beckner's stuck in line. John Furness, he's been awfully quiet. I haven't seen a whole lot of this 20, but I think he's about to start making some noise.
Majority of the field 2x2 blocked by Shane Abbey. Beckner down the back straightaway. There is, crash. That looked like someone got into someone. Yeah, they're scrambling.
Three. I see Brad Slaughter slow on the inside lane.
Couldn't tell who that started with there. I think it started with Bryce Senesac, but no one spun out of it. That was close.
Take a look from up above. Trying to see what happened here.
Up ahead. Muhammad into the back of Senesac, who was trying to come up.
Some ping pong in the back of Casey Licatas and Brad Slaughter. Both of them able to get over it relatively unscathed.
Yeah, that was it's another one for the 78. Senesac was just clear, but 78 tried to give him a push, and that did not work out. Thankful to not have more damaged cars from that. The 78's front bumpers seen better days. Still running 12th, as it might be good though with Hunter because it kind of got the field spread out.
It did, but that 09, that was a significant hit because I don't know if he caught the safer barrier or not, but it was towards the entrance of turn 3. It was a significant. It looked like it was a significant hit, but it does spread the field out as. Well, Furness moves up to third. Going to slot right in between Beckner and Abbey as Abbey looks low.
Shane Abbey looking low. There's Travis Beckner in the middle, and John Furness trying to defend his position up high, trying to get a run off the corner, which seems to definitely help quite a bit. Whoa, there's a big wiggle there in the back for Shane Terrian in the 38, and he's still going to be able to make a move out of it. Going to look low to the inside of the 84.
Got action still around all this track. The 27's looking fast right now, trying to make his way to the front under Furness, battling with him. But Hartz and Bell still pulling away from those two battling. They're still battling throughout the field. Weishart's trying to recover from that checkup. Senesek starting to fall back. I think the damage is starting to really affect them on the right front of the car.
Yeah, he's just gotten passed by Weishart. Now Weaver going to tuck back in before sending it down into turn 3, looking low. That 09 going to start to fail. You can just see the bumper is crushed as well. So significant hit on the 09s. He drops outside the top 10.
See where the bleeding stops for him as he continues to drop down the order. In the back, you see Brad Slaughter just getting the outside of Tom Bourne. Great recovery for Tom Bourne. He was involved in a wreck not too long ago. He's fighting up there inside the top 15, especially also after missing the start. Slaughter now trying to look to the outside of Lakatos, who's looking to the inside of Fambro. Little fight there for position. Travis Beckner up ahead. Gets past John Furness after Furness was made a solid charge through. He's not done yet. The 28 going to try to look to the outside.
Great battle between these guys as Michael Hobble dropped off the pace, I think because he had so much damage his engine was going to blow, so he slows as this battle continues with Furness, is really trying to get that top line working.
Abbey trying to close in with Shane Therian in hot pursuit. 28 still looking in the middle, but boy, that 84 is getting closer and closer to the bumper.
He is getting pretty close. Curious to see when he'll make a move. We see a car up ahead. I'm going to assume that's Cameron Hearn off the pace heading to turn 1.
Ding, ding, ding. He is 4 seconds off the pace.
Oh, wow. There he is.
Huge rate of speed.
That was more dangerous than I thought it would be, but yeah, you could see he's he's maxing out at 158. He's turned this into a super speedway.
Yeah, I was gonna say no doubt that in real life he would absolutely be getting a flag to come down. I'm pretty sure he's not maintaining minimum speed.
Not to mention he'd be on the he would have already kind of failed the 5-minute clock.
It looked like watching ARCA series at Charlotte
or anywhere.
Charlotte was probably the worst.
Charlotte was very bad.
Travis Beckner just able to get past Ryan Hartz for third position. So this 28 is on the move. Sorry, 27 is on the move forward, trying to see if he can catch back up to Matthew Bell. Ryan Hartz sitting in third, and now John Furness, who's dropping back a few spots. Look like he's finally going to be back on the attack, going to try to see if he can get third away from Ryan Hartz.
So the one at the front really trying to weigh top as Hartz is trying to work on Beckner with the middle, and Furness working on both of them with the third lane, as only Greg Mitchell on 8th is joining the 28 up there at this point, as he's trying to fend off David Weishart for 8th, as Matthew Bell, not really what we've seen from him all season, been able to pull away from the rest of the field right now.
He's encouraging the battle to continue. He's got a 1-second lead back to Travis Beckner, who's got Hartz, Furness, Abbey, Therian, and Anna Sogak all in that tight window. Well, the outlier is Furness running the top. But here comes Abbey down low. He's going to have the run off the corner, but that 84 still knocking out the door for 4th.
He's still knocking on the door, trying to look to the inside to see if he can get any sort of run on him, but can't quite build it up just yet. They're all kind of running mostly nose to tail here from second all the way back now to Justin Sogak at the tail end of this group in 7th. There's Terry now looking to the inside of Abbey down that apron that we mentioned drivers have been using, trying to make the track just that much shorter. Meanwhile, behind, David Weishart getting past Greg Mitchell, now up to 8th position.
Get that spot away, starting to climb up through the field. Gets by the damage number 2. Mitchell, a little bit of a struggle this season, but running top 10 even with that damage, as starting to see those playoff drivers who have survived to this point starting to come up to the field. I believe that's 7 of our top 10 in the playoffs.
Indeed it is, and the one outside the top 10 is Casey Licata's 13th, so a lot of moving parts here. And those in yellow, those are on the outside of the cutoff looking in, so the fact that...
Contact, Fambro hit the wall, and Brad Slaughter Jr. ran into him. Slaughter's on the apron. Sorry to cut you off, but thought that was going to be another crash.
Take a look at the replay.
This is coming into out of turn 2. You can see Farmo getting slow. Oh, hit the wall, and then bam, right in front of Slaughter.
That crushed the left rear.
Yeah, and it also, honestly, Slaughter looks okay. Shockingly, I'd be shocked if he doesn't have damage, but cosmetically it looks perfectly fine. So maybe iRacing snuck some composite bodies into the Xfinity cars, but that 18 is for sure toast.
Yes, that was a very meaty hit to that wall, so he's going to be suffering. You can see him already getting past probably 16. It's Tom Bonacci, Silver, and Ed Robinson as they are engaged in a heated battle for 15th behind them.
Battling near the back, battling near the front, battling in the middle. Slaughter gets position back from Lakatos. That's for 11th. As Grant's just barely in the wall, but he keeps it straight as... it's amazing how many cars are limping around the track, and it's only lap 44 as starting to see that gap for the lead come down just a little bit. Last time by I was just under a 10th, and that time by, once again, just under a 10th. But the gap is coming down.
Yeah, only 21 cars on the lead lap, and though the leader, Matthew Bell, has been running a little slower lap time than Beckner, Hartz. They've been able to get that under a second. Furness trying to do the same as Weishart on the move up to 7th. So right on board with him, closing in on Shane Therian.
Riding on board with him. Whoa, as Therian has a big wiggle out of turn 4. See Weiser. The climb forward has been working well so far. Started in 4th, started inside the top 5, drifted out of the top 10 after the string of caution. So now finally able to point that 33 now in the right direction with a little bit of a longer green flag run.
As we're thankful to have this green flag run. It was really because of that instant down the back straightaway with Muhammad and Senesac. Spread things out as there's Cameron Hurd once again on the top line. The top 6 or 7, top 8 really have separated from the field, and after that, very, very strung out. So it's definitely contributing to this, the longest green flag run of the night.
Much needed run indeed, as we got some comers and goers, and there is Lakatos still close to the 9 machine of Brad Slaughter after he made contact with Fambro just a handful of laps ago. Very nice run from Central United Motorsports Zone, as Slaughter still seeing that 50 car grow bigger and bigger in his mirror.
As a matter, in case you thought to do anything here, Slaughter gets almost like he's getting maybe just a little bit tight coming off of turn 4. And Lakatos trying to see if he can make up for it here as they both get past Cameron Hearn. And actually looks like Cameron Hearn is just past Mason Kane. So Hearn now up to 27th. And that'll be the most he'll get for now. Michael Muhammad's in pit lane.
I think he had his engine going, so he had the pit. So see if he gets back out there. He doesn't have many implications to keep running either.
And for the lead, 27's reeled back in the 43.
It's only a matter of time. So I think Bell was just trying to get away from the craziness, but he's cost himself long run speed in doing that. It was up to a second. It's completely erased at this point. I think Beckner's going to make the pass in the next 2 laps.
He might make it in the next turn. Here he comes down low into 3. Not going to be enough for Bell to defend. Sliding up the track, though. They're going to be door to door coming off of 4. Ryan Hart's licking his chops. He wants in on the action, but Bell leads at the line. Beckner tucks back in line, but for how long?
The big question really is how long, and it's going to be not long. Dives back to the inside in turn 1. This time going to make it stick. It's going to be hard to do and hard to pull off. He really needs to dive more harder into turn 1 if he's going to try to want to make that inside line. If not, you're going to have to try to look on the outside. Ryan Hart, I don't know what he's going to do. I guess just really at this point, just kind of sit and watch.
Yeah, that's the best scenario he could put himself in. Just watch these guys use their tire up and then get them right before pit stops maybe, as Beckner not a great run off the corner, but he'll stay side by side with the 43. Hart's looking like he wants to go 3, but I think he's just going to run the top line with Bell and try to get in line to pass this 27 if he can't make it work. That's the risk of going to the bottom to try to make a pass. If you don't make it, you might get freight train.
Don't be surprised if he does make it 3 wide. He's going to actually push the 43. That's his teammate, IRLC Motorsports, so they're running 1-3 right now, but Beckner looking to take that 1 spot away. Down on the bottom, not going to be enough off the corner, but this is the best shot that he's had at taking the lead all night. 3's going to get the push to the 43. Beckner's going to lead that lap, and Hart's still buying his time with Furness closing in now. The fourth place car.
Connor, real quick, did Alex Weaver, did he just crash or did he just disconnect, or was it an internet issue? Because I just saw him.
That is an internet issue. No crash. I didn't even notice that until you said it. That's huge.
So,
another playoff driver.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not been good if you're a playoff driver. I think you've got to start watching now for the laser pointers looking at your head, because some of these guys are starting to drop like flies. You're already missing a playoff driver, the points leader, coming into tonight, and then his competitors chasing him down and behind him. Had very unfortunate nights with Cameron Hearn stuck in 27th of the car, 4 seconds off the pace. This battle starts to get tighter in the front, and then Justin Munsell still putting around with a damaged car in 23rd.
It's about a quarter of the playoff field, not to mention Skyerly not showing up, as look at the run the Hearts has in the center of the corner, trying to squeeze Travis Beckner out of this battle, not able to do so as Bell just cuts off both of them as they almost doored there, and here comes John Furness back into the battle.
They've been able to catch the 43 of Bell, but they haven't been able to pass him no matter where they go. The top, the middle, the bottom, they can get the runs off, or they can get next to him in the middle of the corner, but the run on the outside coming out of 2 and 4 is what's keeping the 43 in the lead, as Hart's going to look low now. Beckner with a strong run on the outside. 3 still at the quarter panel, but not going to be enough coming off 4. Here comes the 28 of Furness, looking to throw his hat in the mix.
Yeah, he's been a driver that's been pretty quiet so far this race. He's been slowly moving his way forward, and now finally ready to make some noise. Travis Beckner trying to see if he can make some noise. Dives to the inside, gets the lead for a split second, but that run off the corner. Here goes Ryan Hartz, and almost door-to-door contact off of the corner.
Hart's telling Beckner to get a move on. Beckner telling Hartz to tell his teammate to stop holding me up. So things getting slightly spicy at the front. But at the end of the day, Bell's doing a great job with the defense right now.
Yeah, look at this. 4 of the top 5 all in the same shot right here, as Furness still lurking in, but Bell still holding on to the lead. Beckner going to send it down in, going to try and clear himself in front of the 43. Hit potential crossover. Here comes Bell. Here comes Hartz. Here comes Furness.
If a fantastic crossover for the 43, will try to get ahead of the 27. He does. Now here comes the 3, Ryan Hartz, trying to see if he can poke a nose through. John Furness sitting in behind the 27 at the moment, and Bell will come back up to clear the 27 of Beckner. Will Beckner stay in behavior? Will he try to go again? He looks at the outside.
That's not going to work. He's going to kill his momentum swooping up like that. It might get physical at some point here, but he stayed off his bumper that time. I think at this point, he's got to just be on Bell's bumper into the corner and just loosen them up. I think that's all it's going to take, as Hartz really washes up there, and now Furness into the top 3.
The 28 car in 3rd place, and Hart's going to fall back to 4th for the time being, but still going to look low, as Beckner, boy, he's still trying to find a way around the 43, just like Furness and Hartz. There's nothing that he can do to get around him. The outside is just too strong, and if you do send it in, crossover is always an option, but top 4 all within half a second of each other. A little further back, Slaughter on the bumper of Mitchell for 9th.
Quite literally on the bumper of the team there for a second. Got awfully close to the back of the 2. Mitchell's been slowly dropping down the order. He's got some damage to his car, so that's really the main issue for it. And it seems that weird Brad's making up his speed.
It seems like Hartz has driven his stuff off himself just a little bit. Can't be too far away from pit stops. Pit about 40 laps ago, so logic dictates maybe lap 70 we might start seeing people make their way down, as Beckner once again dives that bottom. Just not enough grip to make that happen. Bell can just run the outside with ease and hold him off, but here comes Furness for 2nd.
Oh, going to be close in the middle of 3 and 4 to the 28 slow, 27 middle, not going to be enough.
Oh my goodness.
That outside line's just too strong on corner exit. That's what's keeping Beckner in it, and it's pulling Ryan Hartz back in. And not to mention, David Weishart's in 5th, and he did top off on fuel, him and Slaughter, so they can go another couple of laps as we get closer towards green flag pit stops.
Yeah, for Weishart, he's not exactly cashing this groove. He's maintaining about equidistant, if not a little bit slower in some cases, so he's not really making the inroads that I think he would actually want. Matthew Bell, though, up ahead, going to try to see if he can break away from the rest of this craziness going on behind him, as Beckner is side by side with the 28. Across the line, and 27 we scored in his 2nd.
Best case scenario for the 43, they start battling again. He can just pull away again. If they hit that might be good for him as well as Beckner way up the track. They're going to be 3 wide for second. Here comes Hartz.
Whoa, Beckner looking a little bit loose off the corner.
Oh,
Almost
man.
gets in the wall. Furnace almost turned him getting close to his quarter panel.
Bell almost hit the wall as well. He's still driving hard just to get away, but now Beckner's back clear. And look at that 27. He got clean air on the nose in 3 and 4. He's going to have a run.
Hart's going to slide off of 4. Furnace is going to have a 3rd spot for the time being, but Beckner closing back in on the 43. How much longer until he makes the move?
I think he's going to try to make the move as many times as possible. Every time he's gotten close to that 43, he's made a lunge, some sort of move on the bottom, and it just hasn't quite worked out. So he's been trying a bunch of different efforts. So far, not good for the 27, but there he goes again with a lunge to that inside lane. But that outside run, that's a killer. It's so hard to beat that.
Oh, he had a good run through the center. If he didn't get sideways, I think he could have held and maybe made a slide job attempt, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that, as he's just going to get back up in line to the top side, not even trying to bother with the bottom anymore, just trying to get on the bumper of Bell to loose them up just that little bit. But it seems like he's looser out of 2.
Might have to make this a 5-car race, because Weishart's been closing the gap a few car lengths at a time over the last couple of laps or so, as Slaughter and Nabby battle for 9th.
Yeah, solid battle here down the order. Casey Lakatos and Ed Robertson involved as well. So there's a fight midfield here and a fight near the front of the order. All nose to tail there. Almost 5-car pack with Weishart not too far behind. Shane Tyrion, Justin Anasogat, Greg Mitchell. Shane Abbey's dropped back to 9th, and now that's why Slaughter is on the attack. Same thing with Lakatos and Ed Robertson.
Well, Alex Weaver has come back out on track 11 laps down, so unfortunate for the internet to go out, back down in 23rd position, as Beckner still trying to work over Bell, but seems like he's starting to lose grip to fight, and now Furnace has got a huge run.
That's the 3rd car for IRLC Motorsports. The other 2 are running 1st and 4th right now, as top 4 are all around the top, and that red 33 you see running the bottom. He's still closing in on this, almost within a second now of the race leader.
Oh my goodness, sorry to cut you off, Finian. They're 3 wide for 9th. Same battle going on back there.
Yeah, looks like Lakatos is going to back out of that battle. We were just looking at this earlier. Slaughter's going to win. Abbey's now been dropping off slowly but surely. Here comes Lakatos trying to see if he can get that at least 1 spot back and get past 84. And here comes Robertson. He's going to make it 3 wide again.
This is good stuff right now. Battles all over the place. He's going to use that apron to his advantage. Dive to the bottom, clean air, but he will not have room to slide up, I don't think. He won't have him cleared anyways. Is that top line just a little bit too dominant right now? If these drivers get new tires, that might change. But for now, that top line's good in 1 and 2. But the battle of the lead back heated up. Beckner is he can get on the bumper as Bell tries to get a gap on the 27 full quarter entry. He can get to the bumper. Also, watch out for Cameron Hearn. But
whoa, my goodness. That is a jump scare and a half right there, as now the 3 is going to run low, and the 33 is going to follow the tire tracks, but knocking on the door is the 27 of Beckner. He's been able to get to the bumper alongside of him, inside and outside. Hasn't been able to find a way around him, and still looking low. He might have a shot here as they come through turn 4, dead even as they approach the front straightaway.
I bet a lot of money on a slider here, Finian.
Oh, I definitely think so too. This is the best chance that the 27 of Beckner has had all race long to make a move. He's going to absolutely send the car down into turn 1. There he goes, but we saw the 43 do the crossover once.
Too deep.
Does it work again? I think it will. Like you mentioned, Connor, it's just a little bit too deep, and you can see the momentum. It's killed for the 27. The 43 will get past again, and here comes John Furnace in the 28.
Yeah, he just a tiny bit. You have to make it. You have to make it be a decision for Bell to go low or high. He made it too easy.
Whoa.
As he he has to save it. Oh my goodness, how did he save that?
Well, that's going to take him out of the running for the time being, but look at this. Simrat market replay. The in-car, the hands. Travis Beckner keeping that car straight. Lost a couple of spots doing so, but better losing a couple spots than
a
wrecking
race
your
car.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was heart stopping.
And look who's joined the party.
Yeah, that probably helped.
Whoa, Ryan Hart's up ahead. A little bit sideways. You can really start to see the handling get away. These guys have been on their tires for about 45, 49 laps. And again, obviously, there's some caution laps thrown in there as well. But they've been on them for quite a while, so I think it's kind of no wonder that we're seeing it start to be so greasy out there for them.
They got to be in their window in a few laps, so I would not be shocked. Lap 75, you'd see them come down. I said 70, but I did my math wrong. 75 would be like the halfway point, as we got a new challenger for the lead. Furness clear for second, and now he can set his sights on the 43, and I think he's got a little more life in the tires to do so, as Weishart also closes in on Beckner.
Another interesting thing to note, that yellow car behind the top 5, that's Andrew Santo. He pitted handful of laps or so ago. He's caught this top 5. It'll be interesting how the lap traffic affects the top 5 as they continue to duke it out for 4th. Beckner on the outside, Weishart down low, riding on board with Santo, closing in on the top 5.
Just trying to see here that pace differential with the fresh tires. He's able to get on the gas a lot quicker and is catching up immediately back to the 33 and the 20, but backs off, I think, knowing he doesn't want to really get involved in this battle. At least at the moment.
Yeah, Santos told that to kind of give the playoff drivers room over the radio from race admins as they battle for 4th. You can see Weishart has more grip center, but on exit, not so much.
And he's going to tuck back in line there to Beckner as Furness still trying to look to the outside of the 43 for that lead. Trying to build some sort of momentum. Not going to be enough there as Shane Abbey continues to fall with Tom Bourne battling for the 12th spot.
Yeah, it was looking so great for the 84.
Oh, wow. Sorry. Big dive by Furness. Looks like he's going to try it from that far back. Not going to quite get there, but he took a swipe at him for sure. But here comes Ryan Hartz now.
Here comes the 3 looking low as he's going to send it down in for the 2nd spot. 28-3. Look away, Falcons fans, as on the bumper. No, it's not going to be enough. Oh, that got way too close coming off of 4. And he's going to lose 3rd to Beckner.
That was bold of not only the 3 to try that, but for Furness to stay in it. That could have been terrible.
Going back live, 3 and the 33 fighting side by side. So for Hartz, that move just did not pay off, and now he's going to lose a couple spots with it.
Bell got a terrible run off of 2. I'm shocked he's still leading this race, but to be able to make it work so far, just so difficult to passes. Furness runs that top line once again, gets a run, but Bell keeps running the apron down the front straightaway to kind of get that gap back and keep it stable to the point where Furness, Beckner, no one can really do anything as once again the battle for 4th is on. Now it's Weishart and Hartz. Hartz is starting to slip away.
Yeah, I'm going to tuck in line there between the 33 and the 10. Santo still looking to... he wants to get around the top 5, but got to be respectful of the playoff contenders and let them race it out, but they are at that window, crossing the stripe now. They'll complete 75 laps and should see them head down pit road sometime soon, but Furness wants to be the leader before that happens.
Yeah, trying to see if he can make any sort of attempt at turns 1 and 2, maybe build up a run here off of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway now. At 43 looming. I'm just curious here. I'm really curious, really, of the top 5, who's going to be the first to come down pit lane, get that fresh rubber on. Yeah, that's going to be more helpful. I mean, obviously, it'll be more helpful short term, but in the long term of things, will that be beneficial? Or are we going to see these guys try to push the tires as long as possible?
The field might be tight. Remember, we saw Brad Slaughter and David Weishart top off on the last time they were down pit road, so that could be a factor in these drivers taking the field to the end as well. Also, kind of shielding off the possibility of a green-white checkered. So we might see these tires go to the end as Brad Slaughter, as I talked about his things going on, he comes down lap 77.
This should open the door for the other playoff contenders to come into pit road, and there's one of them, Weishart. Oh, whoa, he might have sped coming on pit road there, a little wiggle there. And Sogok in as well.
They're going to get him coming down into pit lane. Ooh, that's flirting with it.
We'll see after about 14 seconds, but that should, regardless of if he has a speeding penalty or not, this should bring in a few others from the front. I know Jacob Hudson, Senesac are in, and Bell. Meanwhile, Furness gets the lead away from Bell, and Beckner's going to pit.
Interesting stuff here in exchange for the lead. There you can see the leaders coming by the start-finish line now with a new leader, 43. I thought Bell would have been able to hold onto it with the pit stops coming, but unfortunately wasn't able to. So he's going to draw back to second. Still very close between these two. Did Weishart leave his box?
Yes, he did. He's all good.
All right, so he's good to go. No speeding penalty there. If anything, just really maximize his pit in. So we'll see how these two answer, because you got to imagine they can't stay out there for much longer. They want to come into cover, and both of them are going to come in as well as Ryan Hartz. So 3 drivers, 3 of the leaders coming down the pit lane.
All of them really hot in, as Bell did a good job maintaining with Furness, and Hart's kind of gained a little, as well as Ed Robertson comes in. This brings in pretty much everyone else. Bohr and Abbey, as trying to look at that battle with Beckner and Weishart. Weishart's easily by Travis Beckner as the rest of the leaders pit.
You don't want to slide over your pit box too, because that'll just take you out of the run and cost valuable seconds and milliseconds on top of that. But Weishart in a pretty good spot so far. Still got some cars who have yet to make their pit stop. Casey Lacan is going to stay out. Then Steve Durham, Grant, Spencer Brown, Wilson, 28's off, 43 and 3, and there goes Weishart on the outside, flying by all 3.
There's going to be quite a bit of a gap to work with as well. So solid move with the 33 Weishart. Just a matter of now, can he hold this off for the rest of the race? That's going to be the big question. Can he save enough? John Furness getting up to speed. Travis Beckner, who will spit a lap or 2 earlier than these guys, is going to also just get ahead of them, but they should have a fighting chance back at them here.
Yeah, 2-lap difference between those 3 and David Weishart. The tire fall-off was about 1.6 seconds for the 33, is coming across the line this time. They lost about 4 seconds to the leader, so a little extra time that Weishart gained on pit road, but for the most part it checks out, as all those drivers, they're going to have to race really hard to get to Weishart, but they can't race themselves or else there's going to be no chance.
Beckner and Furness still battling. Once the cycle's through, this will be for second. Looked like Beckner wasn't going to put up much of a fight down the backstretch. Left the lane open. 28 completes the pass. He moves up to 5th for the time being, but here comes Bell closing in on Beckner.
Oh, he's going to throw it in again. Matt just has a little bit of a luck. Beckner's not been too successful with the dive, so we might have to wait on that. He is also probably going to drop back behind all 3 of these guys. So just got passed by Furness. Now Matthew Bell is his next target.
These two have been fighting hard, the 43 and the 27. We'll see how much they fight this time, as now it's Beckner on the defensive with a huge slide up in front of him. Bell dives at the bottom. Probably will try to get it clear, but Beckner's going to fight hard on the top, I believe, as Hartz kind of just lets them race.
Whoa, big moment there for Bell. Caught the apron. Going to give up the spot to Beckner. Santo going to let them go by, and Hartz closing in on his teammate for what would be the 4th position.
Right up ahead of them, Beckner starting to look like he can kick it back up into gear now. Thought he was going to get passed by the 43 and 3 pretty quickly, but he's holding on to the 28 of John Furness. Garrett Grant has just come down pit lane, so that'll cycle pretty much everyone on the racetrack. So David Weishart, your leader, this is where he is, coming off the exit of turn 2. 1 and 2 now for Furness and company. About 4-second lead.
Man.
Oh, boy.
Beckner didn't give Bell anything, slid right up in front of him. This could get maybe ugly if they don't settle this down, because Beckner is really holding his own right now, as Bell's got to run this time. Probably look to the bottom. Nope, he'll look high.
Great battles inside the top 5, and one thing I'm noticing as they go around the 6 of Munsell, 1st and 5th, they entered on the outside looking in, and one of them's in a good spot to win right now, and we saw that happen Monday night. Seth Knoll entered on the outside looking in, needed a win, and got it done, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Could we see this again with the 33 of Weishart as Beckner continues to hold off Bell?
Intense racing here from Chicagoland. We got just about 45 laps left on the clock for these drivers, and everyone's chasing the man up in front, David Weishart, 4.4 seconds off the in the lead. And I'm trying to look here at the lap times, because it actually looks like that Furness is breaking away.
Yeah, because these two are battling so hard. As last time by, Weishart was faster by 0.3 than Furness, so he's got to really get going. I think that undercut's really going to make the difference if they don't get another caution. Also, the battle for 3rd could be the caution with the way they're battling, as 43 dives down. Will we see a slider? Not quite. But he's got more grip than Beckner. Just can't clear quite yet.
Still putting up a fight, though, for the podium spot. Again, guys, this is for the chance to talk to us after the race, so Bell wants it more, going in the 3. Beckner going to try and run on the outside, but Hart's buying his time in 5th, and look, he's knocking on the door back there. Shane Therian about to have a potentially 5-car battle for 2nd.
Yeah, I haven't talked a whole lot of Shane Therian tonight. He's been pretty quiet, just hanging outside the top 5, worked his way up from 17, so a decent climb forward for that 38 car.
Oh.
Now he's got a wall of cars, though, that are quick, if he wants to have any shot at the top 5.
There's a wall of cars in front of 2nd. I mean, there's Senesac, Fambro, and then it looks like there's a 3rd car up in front.
That is Jacob Hudson.
Yeah, Senesac lets them go, but this will be interesting heading into 1.
Also, speaking of Cameron Hearn, up to 25th now. He's passed 5 drivers up retired.
Oh, Beckner's trying to squeeze Bell in, couldn't do it. Now they're going to be 3 wide. These two, I don't think really appreciate each other right now, but it makes for some good action.
Oh, indeed, as Beckner looking low, trying to complete the pass. Oh, look at Bell sending it down low, trying to cross him over. Might have it here. They're just going to be side by side heading into turn 1 as they work their way around Jacob Hudson.
He just chops him.
Yeah, just dropped the nose off. It looked like he had a chance there, but not quite. We'll have to gather things back up and regroup for another attack. These guys have maintained the same order since Furness overtook Beckner, but again, have not made a whole lot of inroads on David Weishart in front.
Yeah, Beckner just fighting the 43. Does he block high? No. He wanted to. Bell's going to look to the outside. Beckner won't shut it down as Beckner's constantly going to stay on the top as Bell tries the high line in 1 and 2 as probably see him slide back up in front of the 43 on exit. No, he'll give him the lane this time.
Yeah, wasn't able to block it in time. Sorry, Hunter?
I was saying 4.5 seconds back from the leader. Weishart is just boot skewing, boogieing out of here with, well, got with a 39 to go this time by, but they are still going at it for 3rd. Beckner and Bell door to door as they head into 1 again.
Oh, and he lifts. Just gave it to him.
Guess he figured he was done fighting that battle. Now says Travis Beckner, okay, you can have fun. You can try to get past for me. Everyone now try to get past 20 and John Beckner. And also remember, these guys have to try to find a way to chase down David Weishart, and that's going to be easier said than done.
Heck, we're already just under 40 laps to go. They don't have a tire difference to really make this time up. It might already be out the window because they have not gained anything. In fact, I think they've lost time since this run started and it cycled out as Furness, once again, just barely slower and not making inroads as Beckner continues to battle.
Yeah, they've definitely lost a few tenths to Weishart. The lap times are starting to even out. I mean, Hart's was quicker inside the top 5, 31.7, but 31.8s from Weishart, Furness, and 31.9s from Bell and Beckner. It's looking likely that they're going to need a yellow to get back in, but nonetheless, still an impressive fight, 2nd through 5th.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really feel like these guys should have had a little bit of a gentleman's agreement, kind of a little bit of a handshake just to confirm that, they're not going to step on each other and ruin each other's race, because really, all this fighting, while it's been fantastic to watch, has pretty much ruined any chances for them to try to get back up to the leader naturally, unless a caution comes out, which I'm sure they're all hoping a caution comes out.
Yeah, and he came in, Weishart came in tonight, let's remember, he was below the cut line, and he is in position to lock into the next round right now. Ryan Hartz, he came in 12th seed. He's top 5. So really crazy right now of all the drivers who are high up in points having issues. And speaking of points, I believe it's Jacob Bell who's taking care of live points. And thank you for that, Jacob. But the cut line right now, Munsel's the last one in, even with his issues. He's still up by 1 over Hartz. Herden Licata's back 3. Axe Weaver's back 15. So really, Weaver's the only one who'd be in must-win going into Auto Club next week. And in case you're wondering, Scioli's still 24 to the good, and he's not even here.
Pays off in the regular season, so you could have a cushion like that, like Scioli, and Hearn, his cushion out the window. Only 15 points entering tonight.
Blown engine?
Oh, yeah, I think he did. As by the way, Eric Weiland's doing live points, not Jacob Bell.
So Cameron Hearn is coasting on the apron. Don't know if he's going to be able to make it back to pit lane. That could be a caution depending where he stops.
He might all that before, though.
I don't think that'll be a yellow because he's off the track, I think, enough. Because of
I
how
don't know.
old his canvas
It's really
is.
weird with some of these tracks.
But he did blow up, so that's unfortunate. That'll be all he gets. No one behind him is running, so he got the 25th, and everyone else ahead of him is running still anyway, so that might have been his peak anyways.
And that'll put only 24 cars still on the track and only 18 on the lead lap.
That's another thing you can do. Yeah, it's been quite a bit of carnage, guys, from Chicagoland tonight. Typically, you don't associate Chicagoland with a whole lot of carnage, but quite a few cars have retired. Only 18 cars on the lead lap, of which 24 is still running. You have to take Cameron Hurd out of the equation now. The engines are blowing up. And quite a few of them with some decent damage to their cars as well. Now looking through the rest of the order here to see where everyone's running. Ed Robertson running in 9th. Quiet day for the 64 team. Brett Slaughter in behind. He's been up and down all day. Started in 3rd. He's dropped 7 positions.
Hearn makes it to pit road, so this will not be a caution. You won't have to alt F4 as starting to see that gap for the lead is coming down now that Furness is, I wouldn't say he's cleared Beckner and Hartz, but he is back closing in by 1/10 to 2/10 on the 33 of Weissart, but 30 laps to go. I think if my math is right at this rate, Hunter, it's going to have to be more than 1/10.
Maybe a 1/10 and a half a lap at the rate. They are running out of time, though. They're going to need to make it. They're going to need to make every lap perfect. They want to get up to the 33 in time. But Furness definitely starting to click in some laps to close the gap between himself and Weishart. Beckner and Hartz are doing so while battling, and Bell's kind of just pushed back and let him at it.
And Beckner now trying to defend from Ryan Hartz, who's trying to mount a charge in behind him. If he can get that position taken away. Hart's been gone up and down across the top 5. Matthew Bell, it's surprising for him, dropping all the way back here. He's actually starting to lose quite a bit of ground. I think he's might have pushed a little bit too hard. 63 laps led this race for the 43. I don't think anyone's going to have any other shot at getting most laps led. So he definitely went out there and did his job in that department, but it's looking a little bit more grim now for him in the second part of the race. He's probably going to need a caution to get competitively back into this. As the 3 of these guys, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, try to break away.
Yeah, we kind of saw that happening, the Bell. The only issue was he could not pass. He could not get passed by Beckner, Furness. Furness barely got him before pit stops. It was very difficult, so I think that's why it didn't look as bad as far as his tire fall off, but you can tell he is struggling right now. There's also Shane Therian. I think pit a little earlier, he's also struggling and falling off those guys.
Take a look at another battle further down the order. Jeffrey Wilson, Garrett Grant, and Spencer Brown, the Barbie Machine, all on a fight for 16th. Looking at Jeffrey Wilson there on driver cam focused. He was involved. Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
You see him sliding, the camera shaking as well.
It's how hard you have to work the wheel in these Xfinity cars to save one of them. My gosh.
Got this one and still going.
Battle for 3rd's going to heat up. Hartz is now the next one working over Travis Beckner, and he gets to his inside, actually, as Furness starts to break away even a bit more. As 27-3, not quite 28-3, but close enough. They start the battle.
That adds up to 30, and if you add the 3 of Hartz, that makes 33, which is our race leader, and they're still closing in on the. They're still closing in. Still going to be about a 1/10 and a half, maybe 2/10 a lap if they want to get up there before this one's over, or the yellow flag could come out. But nonetheless, still the fight to talk to us after the race between Hartz and Beckner.
And arguably that's the most important fight of all. In behind these guys, 62 Alex Weaver came in for tires a lap ago, so he's going to be quick and probably going to try to work around these guys. He's going to try his best. He doesn't, again, one of the drivers doesn't want to get involved. I don't think anyone wants to get involved in a championship fight, especially if you accidentally take out a driver.
The battle might be over at this point, especially the tires are a lap quicker as well, so I think at this point you can't feel too bad about passing someone a second faster when your second faster is. Beckner almost late.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
Hang on.
Got to pass him now, as I thought Beckner was about to lay the bumper to Hartz, and then all of a sudden it shot up the track. Had that push loose syndrome that these Xfinity cars always get.
That's not going to be the case, and Weaver now Well, I believe he pitted recently. He's got, it seems like fresher tires. If I could find
3 laps to go.
Oh yeah, absolutely fresh, and he'll be working through teammate Ryan Hart's in the next 8 full laps, I'd imagine.
That, or maybe, since he's his teammate, maybe ride behind Hartz and push him back up there.
Okay, Greg Mitchell running in 9th, still damaging notes to his car. Brad Slaughter, he was in a fight with Casey Licata.
Oh, crashed down the front straight. Jacob Hudson spun. The cautions come out.
Whoa, advice of the second involved. Licata's. Oh, he gets rear-ended by Brad Slaughter. Oh, no.
Oh, great googly moogly.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Tom Moore.
Not over yet. Oh, my God.
Tom Moore swerving in there, almost got involved himself. Wow. That was interesting.
That was
how that entire charade started. Oh, Jacob Hudson rewind a little further than that.
Cement Market replay. Fourth caution of the night, I believe, and yeah, he just loses it on his own.
Whoa.
And then caution's coming out now.
Oh, hang on to it. Oh, and then yeah.
Just barely clipped Senesac and it set things off. As then Lakatis and Slaughter came together, just they were trying to figure out where the 09 was going to go. As very odd to have a caution like that happen, as we'll get a view from Brad Slaughter Jr.'s in-car cam, as kind of see it happening.
He thinks he's fine here, and then Bryce Senesac comes up, Lakatis goes low, he swerves right in front of Slaughter, and around both of them go.
Yeah,
Sounds like a slow train wreck.
Yeah,
it really was.
Here comes the leaders. This is the money stop at this point.
Make sure you don't miss your box.
Sorry, would you ponder taking 2 tires here?
No way.
Yeah, I would want to take 4 tires. We saw with Alex Weaver coming in how much quicker he was than these guys. I just don't think the 2 tires is going to be worth it with this many laps to go. If we have a lot of cautions, it might pay off, but that's a big risk.
I just think there's too much time left. Yes, you can get caution after caution, but I think even on the restart in turns 1 and 2, you're going to feel the difference between 2 and 4. So I don't think it's going to be the right decision. As Furness trying to avoid Garrett Grant. Weishart will still get off.
Travis Beckner really gassed it up there, trying to see if he can beat Ryan Hart or John Furness, and gotta wonder if he behaved enough, because that was very aggressive throttle application for the 27.
I believe Hart's got him, so top 5: Weishart, Furness, Hart's, Beckner, and Matthew Bell. And that's probably, the gap was coming down, but I think Weishart would have much rather had that go green. No doubt about it.
It would have been a stress-free win for Weishart if it went green to the end, pending any issue, but now field's going to be re-racked, restacked, and going to take out a little bit of stress as we're nearing 20 to go.
I think I think what we will do is take a chance to talk to David Weishart and see what he's up to. Hey, David Weishart, Finney and DeCuna, SimTV booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I can imagine you're probably very frustrated seeing this caution come out, upsetting the order of things. Had a really solid lead. It was kind of going down a little bit, but you still had the race pretty under control. So now, with the caution coming out, everyone's back behind you. All your competitors all race. So what's the game plan?
Stay in front of them. I only took like 3 gallons of fuel there just to make sure I was good, and hopefully that tightens the car up a little bit. It's really loose if you try to push it too hard, and I had already burnt the right rear off of it there, and they were gaining on me, so it's going to be tight to hold them off, but I really wish we just would have went green there.
I'm sure you did, but hey, I mean, at least for everyone else, it's going to be a heck of a show. Definitely not the outcome you would have wanted, but best of luck to you, David.
All right, thanks, guys. Enjoy the show.
All right, and that was David Weishart here. Going to see what he can do here. Up in front, everyone in behind him. It's going to be a Hornet's Nest. Can he hold on? That's going to be the big question. So any revised picks? I think, Hunter, you probably want a revised pick.
Yeah, considering then make it to lap 10. I'm gonna go with Matthew Bell.
Matthew Bell, all right. I mean, I'm curious to see how he's going to do. I think he's definitely a lot better on the short term So I think that's real. This is really going to benefit anyone that's good on the short term. We're talking about Shane Abbey too, and actually, where is Shane Abbey ended up?
Further down the order, I
He's
believe.
in 16th, yeah, and this is after having a really solid run in the top 5 earlier on. Went down to 16th over that long run, just didn't have the long run pace really in that car. Might have a chance to get back up here with just 20 laps to go. Connor was asking Hunter for a revised pick. He picked the 43 of Matthew Bell. What about you?
I picked Travis Beckner. I'm sticking with him. I think he's got good pace. If he could just complete the passes that he's attempting, I think he can win this race. So I still got the 27. Also, just want to note the points. Once again, Eric Wineland's doing them, so thank you, Eric. As we got a tie on the cut line right now before this restart between Anasogok, Hartz, and Munsell. So very tight at the cut line. Hearn's 4 back. We noted his issues, and Lakatos after that incident's 8 back. So obviously that could easily change with a 20-lap dash to the finish here.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a good chance it might change a lot. Weiser leading him down. Will this be the final restart? We'll see. For him, he's probably going to hope so. Green flag back in the air. Let's go back green here at Chicagoland. Ryan Hart's trying to see if he can get clear. John Furness is going to feel awkward for a lot of these guys because they're back in a pack, and with fresh tires, it's time to get racy again. In the background, Jeffrey Wilson up near the wall trying to go 3 wide.
Oh, he's in the wall. Mitchell. I think someone just said they had a penalty. I couldn't tell who, but I think that's somewhere in the back, not at the front. As Weishart's clear, Hartz has gotten the second now. As they're still scrambling in the background.
Top 5 continuing the battle. Shane Therian now with the caution back in the mix for 5th. Looking on the outside of Matthew Bell as Hartz tries to buy time with the 33 of Weishart just in front of him.
And Bell going to go a little bit wide. Terrian trying to work on the inside. Battle for 5th between them.
And Robertson, yep, hit the wall. Keeps it straight though.
Keeps it straight and is swarmed now by Garrett Grant and Jeffrey Wilson coming through.
Hart's really got in the short run, giving a challenge of a 33 as Furness just not taking off, and Beckner's all over him as Therian's trying to take 5th away from Matthew Bell as well, as they're 3 wide way in the back.
That's going to help the 3 of Hartz as they continue to drive away from Furness. Not too far of a gap, but here comes the 88 down low. Hartz was looking low. Not sure if he's making a move yet, but Anasogok looking for 6th. Hartz still trying to get the lead from Weishart.
He's all over his back bumper. Weishart trying to see if he can hold on here. Gonna take the 3 down in the apron to the grass. And there goes Hartz now looking to the inside. Weishart's stuck on the outside.
I don't think Weishart thought he was going to try to dive to the bottom, but look how much more grip Hartz has to make that work as they're clear away from John Furness and they're dooring almost down into turn number 3.
These 2 drivers entered at the bottom of the playoff grid heading into tonight. Hart's going to try and slide up in front of Weishart. He's going to get the job done. Coming to 15 to go. Weishart not going to give up yet.
Beckner and Furness almost came together in the battle for 3rd. Weishart's back to the top, as you said, on the outside of Hartz, but I don't think he has the grip to do it, but we'll see what run he gets out of 2.
It really depends this run that he's going to get there. His Hart's going defensive to the inside, so Weishart having to look around the outside. It just doesn't quite seem like that outside lane is there as it was before, at least for the leaders, and he's going to have to sit back in behind. Ryan Hartz with a big charge here in the later part of this race. 15 laps to go, has the lead. Now, can he hold off Weishart in behind him?
I don't know if Weishart has anything for the short run, but we're going to have to see it here as Beckner, everyone outside, the top 2 are still trying that top line, but I think the tires are too fresh for that to really work, but we'll get a good indicator of if it works or not this lap as Beckner's clear and Furness just does not have short run pace right now.
Might have a shot at the very end to work, but Hart's starting to gap himself from the 33 of Weishart. Just 2 car lengths separating the top 2. As they come across the stripe, here comes Bell looking low on Furness. 13 to go, and into 1.
And Bell, you see, whoa, a little bit sideways there on the bottom, and just not able to get the speed. There's Furness getting a solid run on the top side. He's going to be up into 4th.
Yeah, and Bell just can't get by the 28 yet, but he's getting better runs. We thought this wasn't what the 33 wanted. It certainly doesn't look like what John Furness wanted. He was so fast long run, but coming down to a short run is Bell almost getting into the bumper of the 28. He just might have. This has really not worked out for Furness. He might fall back just barely on the edge of the top 5.
Hold on the 4th for the time being, but Bell trying to do all he can to work his way around the 28. Therian looking on from behind. Justana Sogak as well, running in 7th. Then it's Bourne, Abbey, and Robertson, the top 10, as close moment there off of 4 for Furnace. Bell still closing in. Weishart has run back down to 3 of Hearts.
Look at this Hornet's Nest in the back of the pack. It's Nick Silver, then you have Spencer Brown in the middle. Brad Slaughter Jr. trying to hold off Greg Mitchell and Casey Lakatos as well with a damaged car, as well as with Slaughter. So they're both trying to work their way forward as much as they can with their injured machinery.
Weishart back to the lead. Hearts gave him the lead back. Something happened out of turn 2. I think Hearts hit the wall. He's got damage.
Looking at the replay. Oh, yeah, he did. He hit the wall hard.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
and Weishart having to go all the way to the apron to get it done.
That is a huge mistake to make, and now Hearts is pinching Beckner, who's trying to chase down to 33 for the win now. That is a huge mistake to make from the lead with 10 to go.
Now Weishart encouraging the battle from behind, although it's not going to go on for much longer. Beckner takes second away. Now can he run down the 33 of Weishart?
Going to be a tough ask. We'll have to see what he can do. Got a little bit of cleaner air now that he's finally up in second. I think it's been the highest he's been all race long. Indeed, he is. He's not tasted the lead yet so far. With under 10 laps to go, that opportunity might still be there. You can see in the background, Reinhardt's drifting off back towards Furnace and Bell. So he doesn't have much of competition from behind. He can focus on trying to get down to this 33. And for Weishart, I'm sure he just can't wait for this race to be over with, because he has another competitor now potentially coming back up here.
That was such a big mistake from Hearts. It takes him from potentially locking into the next round to now he's tied on the cut line, and he's going to start losing points with Furnace and Bell and Shane Therian just coming all the way down on him.
Podium spot still up for grabs. Furnace on the outside, Hearts on the inside, and now Matthew Bell looking to close the gap. Is he going to let the 3 in line? Nope, not one bit. He's going to look for 4th.
It's looking worse and worse for Ryan Hartz here as he's slowly drifting back. 28 moves past him, now the 43. He's really struggling on the exit. Shane Therian now going to try to see if he can take a whack at getting past the 3 of Ryan Hartz. Meanwhile, up in front, that gap is continuing to close and close. This battle is far from over.
Yeah, Beckner closing in close to the bumper as now they're completely gone from John Furnace. It is Beckner v. Weishart for this race win. Next time by to 6 to go. Beckner hasn't really changed his lineup yet, just following in the tire tracks of the 33. How much longer can he do that?
And if anything happens to the top 2, 3rd is in the catbird seat, and even that's still up for grabs. Bell on the bumper, closing in more on the 28 of Furnace. They're coming in 6 to go now.
All right, look, there's Beckner going up high, Weishart coming down low. Beckner trying to see if he can find any sort of speed here in the later goings of this race, and we do know for Beckner at the very least he loves his dive bomb, so if he can get close enough to this 33, could see a slide job. It didn't really work out well for the 27 early in the race, but we'll see, has he finally learned how to get it and perfect the maneuver, because if there's any time to perfect it, now's the time.
Seems like he lost a little bit out of turn number 4, but it seemed like that top line of 1 and 2 worked pretty well. Wondering if Weishart ever wants to cover that off. He doesn't this time, as that 3 car continues to fall back. Justana Sogak's now by the 3. That's for 6th position. Oh, car in the wall, turn 1.
Jeffrey Wilson slowing off the pace. Take a look at what happened here. Some contact with the 5 of Garrett Grant is what sent him in there.
Big hit. That's unfortunate. He was 13th as the race with the leads kind of widened out once again. This time by 4 to go.
That puts Casey Lakatos up to 14th, so he was 18th a handful of laps ago, moving up slowly. He needs every point that he can get, but battle is up here as Weishart continues to drive away. He'll give the top to the 27 of Beckner. He'll give him that outside lane, but it's not going to be enough for the time being. They're running out of time.
Starting to run out of time indeed. 3 laps to go next time by. For Weishart at this point, it's looking like he just has to make sure he doesn't make a mistake like we saw with Ryan Hartz. For Hartz, that cost him severely. He went from the lead in about 10 laps. He's gone from the lead all the way down to 7th place and may continue to drop. Doesn't matter, can he hold on? John Furnace in behind, trying to run the middle lane, trying to see if he can catch back up to Beckner. Matthew Bell chasing him down. Shane Therian, Justana Sogak are kind of closing into each other near the end. Reinhardt's by himself. I don't quite think Tom Bond will get back to him. And then There's Steve Durham breaking inside the top 10. There's Shane Abbey actually just outside the top 10, trying to see if he can break back in. For Weishart, 2 laps to go, though.
Hector did close back in, going back to the bottom in turn 1. Weishart, he's diving earlier to the bottom than Weishart is, but it's still working, but loses a little time off of turn 2.
He's going to have to pick up maybe a tenth more if he wants to have a shot at sending it deep into the corner. Louisiana dive bomb wouldn't be a bad option if he was close enough to do so, but Weishart's going to come off of 4, see the white flag one more time around Chicagoland. Can he get it done?
We'll see if he can get it done. Just has to be no mistakes for the 33 into turn 1. Beckner throwing a Hail Mary into there. He's going to almost definitely hit the wall here, and that actually might have cost him enough time for Furness to get involved. We'll see if Furness tries anything near the end. For Weishart, just 2 more turns left. Beckner not close enough to make any sort of dive bomb. For Weishart, it was a solid maneuver earlier in the race, came down to pit lane, got himself the lead. The caution came out, was under pressure again, held it off again, and he will get the win at Chicagoland. The 33 is in victory lane again.
Big win as the battles come across the line. This beaten and battered field finally completes 130 laps. What a finish. All the way to the very end, it was a battle. Heartbreaker for Ryan Hartz, but absolute elation for David Weishart. Huge win.
Now, while that Lakatos recovers to 13th, just a couple spots off from where he was when the last yellow came out and then had the damage from the crash. But nonetheless, it's a victory for David Weishart. He was on the outside looking in, and he's going to go into Auto Club next week stress-free.
Oh, definitely it's going to be stress-free. Unfortunately, not going to be the same for Ryan Hartz here as Weishart lights him up here at Chicagoland, burns the tires down.
And the cut line, and that really hurt Hartz because, like I said, he went from being in, now he's 4 back of the cut line. Justin Munsell, after his issues, the last driver in going into Auto Club. So there's going to be a lot of drama once we get there, but no drama for the 33 machine. 2 of the 3 series. He's getting off with an easy week at Auto Club in Phoenix next week.
Yeah, looking at your finishing results, Weishart over Beckner, Furness, Matthew Bell, and Shane Terry in your top 5. Justin Sogek, Ryan Hartz, Tom Bourne, and Ed Robertson, with Steve Durham just breaking inside the top 10 near the end of the race.
I was about to say, great result for Steve Durham, and Bourne got all the way back to 8th after being involved in the second yellow. Great for him. And then we see a lot of white here. Not many playoff drivers besides Casey Lakatos, who got back to 13th even after being involved in our last caution. Slaughter there, he was fast, couldn't get back to the front. He had issues with Fambro. Jeffrey Wilson, we saw his incident with 5 laps to go. A lot of drivers with some damage here, but you see outside the top 20, Hunter, a lot more implications and a lot more damage.
Yeah, a lot more damage outside, including Justin Munsell. Alex Weaver, unfortunately for him, he had internet issues, so that's what plagued him. Cameron Hearn he didn't even make it 10 laps without getting caught up in a crash, and 23rd on back. This just shows how chaotic Chicagoland was tonight. 23rd on back, all out of the race due to being involved in some sort of accident.
Yeah, really unfortunate for a lot of these guys and a lot of playoff drivers, so that's definitely going to shake up the standings in just a couple weeks' time, just to see kind of where everyone ends up at. So that'll definitely be something to keep an eye on, especially after this race with some big names near the top of the standings, probably going to be knocked down a few pegs and potentially closer to that cutoff line here. But as we wrap up here from Chicagoland, let's do some interviews. Let's talk to John Furness. John, got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right, man. You were looking so good at the beginning of the race, especially on these longer runs. You looked like you had a solid chance there at the end, but the caution came out, and just the pace didn't quite seem to be there initially. But you caught some breaks, but it wasn't enough and you only got 3rd. So kind of just walk us through your night. How did it go?
Well, it's a good track. I like this track. I like this place. It gets slicked off, and started by screwing up qualifying. I thought it was 2 laps, so I took it easy on my first one, and then had to start in the back, and yeah, messed that up. Came back through the field. Thought I was gonna have him covered there if it stayed green. It's kind of my style, is just take care of my stuff and let it go long, but it didn't really work out that way tonight. It was gonna be tough to run David down that last long run there, but I was saving my stuff pretty good. I was clicking off a couple tenths a lap, just trying to manage my pace, manage the gap, make it close at the end, and then the caution came out, and I started on the outside. Just didn't get a good restart at that point. It's like, okay, well, I got to just kind of see what happens back here because I don't really have that short run speed sending it in the corner like these guys do. Kind of set my wheel and my bias up to make the long run, so didn't quite work out for us. And all in all, though, it was a good night, man. A lot of fun, good track to have a race at. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask too, with that caution coming out, the gap was closing down. Do you think, had a caution not come out, do you think it would have had a chance at the 33?
Yeah, so I was just watching the gap. I was trying to click off like a couple of tenths each lap without burning up the tires, and then the longer it goes, the better I seem to get. But I didn't want to burn them up too early and then not be able to make a pass. So I was just trying to time it really. Didn't want to see that last caution for sure. Heck, that's just the way it goes sometimes,
Well, might not have been a win, John. It was definitely a solid third-place finish. Best of your luck next week at Auto Club.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate what you guys do put on the broadcast. Thanks, big thanks to all the league admins, everybody puts on the show, and Fazikis Motorsports, Leo Bram, NAI Bank, Magyar Bank, all the partners here at Fazikis that make us get to come out here and do this on Thursday night. So appreciate the help.
All right, that was John Furness, third-place finisher. Let's move on to our second-place finisher, Travis Beckner. Travis, we saw you are up near the front all day long, but unfortunately just weren't quite able to get there at the end. You cut so close to Weiser, I think within a tenth of a second, but it wasn't quite enough. Walk us through that finish.
Yeah, I kind of screwed myself there on the final stop, not taking any gas. Thank you, iRacing, for adding auto fuel. And, just didn't put enough gas in it, was tight, and just couldn't get a run off the corner or anything, so that didn't help at all. But that was the most fun I've had in this series in a while. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is probably one of the better series that we have with cautions and everything. But, just Weishart outdrove me and couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I was also going to ask, too, you did a lot of dive bombs there, especially you had a lot of hard time getting around Matthew Bell. We saw you do several dive bombs trying to get past, but unfortunately didn't work out. Were you trying to see if you can try to get it pulled off on the 33?
Yeah, I think if I could have got by Matt Bell there earlier in the race, and when I caught him the first time, I think I may have won this race, but just like I said, just ran out of time and gas didn't help, so yeah.
Alright, well, Travis, even though it wasn't the win, still solid second place finish, a good points day for you.
Yeah, before I go, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Calusa Pines Landscaping, Thompson Pipe Group, Rick Sauce, Celsius, Area iRacing.shop, Black Buffalo, Host and River Machines, BG Creative, Puckett Films, Miller Racing, everybody at Miller Racing, and everybody that came out to race tonight, and y'all taking time out of your day to come broadcast this. But one more thing before I gotta go, I gotta make an announcement. I was supposed to make it yesterday, but I forgot about it. But look out for Low Dollar Racing next year. That's all I gotta say.
All right, we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Travis, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
All right, and last but certainly not least, our race winner here, David Weishart, able to get it done. We talked to you right as that last caution came to an end. You're a little bit nervous, concerned of what's going to happen, but was able to execute after having not one but two hard chargers coming at you. How'd you pull it off?
Oh, I don't know, man. My strength was the long run all night. On that one long run before the green flag stop, I ran them leaders down. I know they were battling, but I just kind of saved my stuff and caught them and short pit them by just like a lap or two between the four of them that were up there. And it was the same thing as Tuesday night. I came out with a humongous lead. I don't know where the time was gained or where they lost time. I don't know, but burned my stuff off there. And I didn't take very much fuel on that last stop. I needed the car to be tighter before I could really do what I needed to do, and it took off too tight. way too tight. And then I got behind Hartz, and he was. It made the car even tighter. Then he got the wall, and I thought I was done for because I thought I was just going to pack him right in the back bumper, and got around him. And then at that point, really, it was just aero blocking Travis, just trying to take whatever line he was running away, because for some reason these cars are probably more aero sensitive as the Cup car, I think, on the sim. So I consider myself lucky to come away with a win. These are not my best cars at all. I haven't had a win in this series since like season 2, very beginning of it. So I'll take the win, move on in the playoffs, and don't have to worry about next week.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a fantastic job for you. You don't have really, like you mentioned, didn't have anything to worry about going on in the next week. I mean, obviously, looking at the bigger picture, James Kelly's got 7 wins to his name this season. Definitely the man to beat this for this championship. What's your game plan to try to combat him? Especially because he took this week off.
No, I don't know what else. I don't know what I can do in this car to beat him. He is a rocket ship in this car. Is the reason he won 8-9 races, whatever it was. But it ain't gonna be for a lack of trying. I don't even know where we go. I think Auto Club.
Yep.
Next week, and I don't even know the second round. So I just I haven't even looked that far ahead. Just go out and do the same thing we do every week. Just put in some practice and try to do the best we can. Keep the car clean.
All right, sounds like a game plan, David. Thanks for talking to us. Congrats on the win.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, and with that, that'll wrap up interviews here from Chicagoland, guys. Saw some fantastic racing, a lot of green flag running there with a nice little caution to spice things up there towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. I think the racing, we saved the best for last, in my opinion. I think these Xfinity cars put on the best show this week, but all 3 races were shows, and it was just great racing. And we had a little bit of everything. We had a lot of crashes, but we had long green flag runs, and we had some strategy in there as well. And we had the victory side of things with David Weishart, and also got the agony of defeat with Ryan Hartz, who slipped all the way back to 7th, which really changed the points picture going into next week at Auto Club.
Auto Club is going to be one whale of a race. I can guarantee you that for Cup, Truck, or do they go to Auto Club?
Yes.
Trucks go to Phoenix.
Oh, right, they go to Phoenix. Right.
Well, for the Cup and Pro Series side of things, it's going to be chaotic trying to settle that out. And if you remember what happened in the season ago with Michael Kern, imagine if that happens again, but this time as a cutoff race.
Definitely will be spicy. Just like Rick's Hot Sauce, just real quick before we go, race fans, be sure to check out rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida. Try the Loxagy Classic Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, or South Beach Heat. Follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle in the Area Cup Series. See which driver will take home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in the point standings. Also, shout out to the shop.areairacing.com. Race fans, be sure to check out areairacing.com for merchandise representing your favorite drivers and teams. Shop from our brand new selections of champion t-shirts, jackets, hats, and more. Easier to shop, quicker to ship, better to wear. That's shop.areairacing.com. Well, as you said, some great racing here from Chicagoland. The playoff picture is also starting to spice up, and we'll see how it fares as we head to Auto Club. But for now, here from Chicagoland, my name is Fiddy Kuna, here with Connor Horn and Hunter Slepp. We'll be signing off for tonight. Thank you for watching.